Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bold Standard. My name is Rena, and in this episode, we are talking about how we cannot receive that which we do not give. That's right. You might be asking, well, how can I give something which I do not have? Because if I have it, I wouldn't want to be receiving it. So of course, I'm just gonna ask for the things I don't have, and I cannot give the things that I don't have. Well, that's not really the case, and that's the whole perspective shift I wanna address in this episode. So stick around because I promise some good aha moments. Now, what do I mean by we cannot receive that which we do not give? Well, let me give you a little story. For example, right here in Eastern Europe, in Bulgaria, where I'm from, people are considered to be extremely grumpy. We are known for the people, I mean, we are not known for that, but in general, Eastern European people uh, think about each other as people who are very grumpy, who never smile, who are always kind of like just frowning. And so Bulgarian people constantly complain about other Bulgarian people, telling them that they're very grumpy, telling, oh, nobody ever smiles, everyone is just looking bad and frowning. But it never occurs to them to smile first, to smile to a stranger who is frowning. And so what happens when you give when you give a bad look to someone who also gives you a bad look? Well, nothing changes. The energy just remains hard, the energy remains contracted, the energy remains negative. That's what happens. And so, what happens when you approach someone like that with love and positivity? Unless they're a jerk and they just want to treat you bad, what ends up happening if you smile to a stranger just because you want to be the bigger person, just because you don't wait for someone to give you love and to give you positivity and to give you joy before you give back? What happens? Well, that person is going to smile back at you. That person is going to have a good day. Even statistically, they made a whole research on what happens when you smile to strangers. People heal diseases in that way. Endorphins just skyrocket in both parties, in both the stranger that you smile to and in yourself. And it seems like we are not used to be the ones creating what we want to experience. We always wait on someone else to give it to us first. And I know that sometimes it's hard. I know that sometimes the much easier choice is to just be an asshole, excuse my language, and just act back in the same way that someone treated you. If someone is rude to you in the store, the easiest thing would be to reply with rudeness. If your partner forgot to take out the trash, instead of having compassion, the much easier choice here, instead of loving them, is to get annoyed and start arguing with them. And so it's not always an easy choice, but it's always the thing that creates change. And this is just the beginning of something that I want to expand on, because this gets much bigger than just the everyday little triggers and emotions that we get to create. But whatever is on micro level, it is the absolute same on a macro level. Whatever it is that you create in your little interactions with other people in everyday life, the same things happen on a bigger scale. And not just with people, with life as well, with circumstances as well. So many people would want abundance. Let's take money, let's take wealth, because that's something that everyone wants, right? Most people, okay, I'm not going to generalize. Most people want abundance. But how do we approach life? We approach life like we have nothing. We don't share anything generously. We don't share anything abundantly. The only thing we want is to get that back. to get something, As I said, we either approach things with, oh, I'm just gonna work hard but have zero faith, or I'm gonna do no work and I'm gonna just have false faith. And so what do I mean by false faith even, or faith in general? Faith is just conviction. Faith is just knowing that you are blessed, that you already have everything that you desire, that you are abundant, and that you definitely have plenty to give should you want to. And it's faith is about knowing that you and God is one. You can't expect God to give you something you don't give first. Just like you can't expect a person to smile back at you if you're looking like that, or for someone to love you if you don't love them back, or for someone to listen to you if you don't listen to them, or for someone to take you seriously if you don't take them seriously. You can't expect that. The same thing is with God. God is not going to give you what you don't give. And that might be a little controversial or hard to hear, but God wants what you want. And God is always going to give you what you already have. He's going to give you plenty of what you already have. So if you say to yourself, well, I really want money, God is gonna say, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do need money. But if you say, God, I am blessed, and you start just noticing the abundance that is all around you, you start praying not for things, but you start praying for yourself to be worthy enough to appreciate the things you already have. I'm not saying you're not worthy. It's not about the worthiness in the human moral sense of the word. It's about worthy in terms of make me aware. That's what I mean. Make me aware enough so I can recognize what I already have. So I can recognize the blessings that I already have. Because what you recognize, you energize. So if you keep recognizing the grumpy people around you and say, oh, there's only grumpy people and I'm just going to be grumpy back, guess what? Whatever you recognize, you energize. And that's what happens. Whatever you recognize, you energize. And there is this story. I don't know who said it. I think it was Jim Rohn. If you know who it is, you can also correct me. I'm not quite sure. But he was telling that story of a guy who moved to a new neighborhood. And he went to the neighbor and to his new neighbor, and he asked him, hey, how are the people in this neighborhood? Are they nice? Are they kind? Are they generous? Are they friendly? And so the neighbor said, well, what were the people in your previous neighborhood? And he said, well, they were bad and good, and they were unfriendly, and they were grumpy, and they were just like gossiping all the time. And the guy said, well, that's exactly the type of people that you will find here too. They're exactly the same. And so if he had said, well, what were the people in your previous neighborhood? And he says, well, they're all friendly, they're positive, they're nice, they were amazing. Well, that's exactly what you would find in this neighborhood too. Why? Because you create what you give out there and what you pay attention to and what you recognize. And I wanna also share a little another little story with you that is gonna show you and illustrate you what happens when we get over our ego and really just choose to live a life that we want to live, that we want to create. Not to wait on God or people or circumstances to align perfectly so we can feel the joy and the love and the abundance, but to consciously, intentionally, not just create it, command it into existence, just because we can, just because we are not scared to use our power, and just because we don't need anybody to love us first for us to love them back. You know why? Because in any case, we get to love. We get to love. Like so many people say, well, if my husband is not giving me the love that I want, and is not giving me enough attention, and I don't know why should I give them that? Well, or he did something that annoyed me, so he doesn't deserve my love today. It's like, well, it's your choice. You can choose to love despite anything that happened, because whatever it is that happens, it's only your interpretation of the circumstance. It's not an objective universal truth. It doesn't mean, because we make all of those made up scenarios. Let's take the taking out the trash example. Well, he didn't take out the trash. That means he doesn't respect me. He never listens to me. That means he doesn't respect me enough. And it's like, no, no, no. It doesn't mean any of that. That's what your mind make it mean. But the reality is, there is this person who just didn't do something. That's the factual claim, reality. There's a person who didn't do something. Why didn't he do it? Nobody knows. But what you make it mean is going to affect how you feel, and how you feel is going to affect your mood and your life, and the quality of your life. Because what if you choose to love them anyway? You will say, well, why should I? Why should I? Like, your ego is going to get in the way. But why should I? Well, why should you not? Like, you get to love either way. You get to experience the amazing emotions of love either way. So why shouldn't you? Right? Why shouldn't you? And so I want to give you a little personal example here. My mom never knew how to show me love. Like, she never says I love you. She's not the type of person who would sit next to me and have like a mother-daughter conversation in which I can share with her. I can share my emotions, my feelings. Oh my gosh, like, we've never had a relationship like that. And even when I go through hard times, and when I go through uh, something, that I really wish my mom was that type of person who would just hug me and be like, hey, it's okay. Like, it's going to give me that support, that safety that every child needs. She never did that. And so there was one moment, where a period in my life where I was at my rock bottom, emotionally, mentally. I was suffering so hard. I was really, really, really suffering. And so, in that lowest point of your life, it's like there's this instinctive desire to be held and to be supported. And I had nobody around me. So I had, it was just my parents, whose house I went back to because I needed some support. And I didn't get it. Like, I would be like depressed and crying, and I would just I was really suffering. And I was getting angry at my mom. I was like, oh, why can't she just like be here for me for once? Why she can't just like hug me for once and tell me everything is gonna be okay, or just ask me what I need, or just do something, anything. And I was like, that would just make me even sadder and sadder, and I would like, it was horrible experience. And then I said, you know what, it's like on the back of my mind, on the back of my head, my whole life, I am waiting for her to be someone that she is not. Like, my whole life, I'm waiting for her to come to me, and to do all of those things that I really needed her to do for me. Just to tell me, hey, I'm here for you, to look me in the eyes, to hug me. That's all I needed. She never did that. And so I always wanted it so bad, and especially in that moment. And you know what I did? I got to a point of frustration that I was like, you know what? I need it so much. And if you are not going to give it to me, I'm going to come and take it. So what I did is I just went there, and I grabbed her and I hugged her, and I said, I just need you. I just need you right now. Just hug me. And she hugged me, and she was like, it's okay. Everything is okay. Like, don't worry, don't worry. And she just started like patting me on the back, and she just hugged me like she never did before, ever. And she showed me love, and she showed me compassion, and she showed me something I didn't think she was capable of. But you know why she could do that? Because I led by example. I showed her that first. I allowed her and gave her the permission to show me an emotion that she didn't know how to show. And she's not a bad mom, or she's not a bad person. She's just a person who's never taught how to be vulnerable, intimate, show love. Like, she doesn't know how to do any of that. And so when we show love first, and when we say, hey, I love you, I love you, I'm here for you, it's okay. Or when we go and we hug them and we say, I need you, she feels like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh, like it opens the heart. And that's what happens with strangers on the streets. That's what happens when somebody who is frowning at you and you smile at them, you make their day, because people love kindness. People love love. People love other people. People love to be heard, to be seen. And it starts with us. It starts with us. And sometimes the easier choice is to respond to hate with hate, to respond to um, uh, mm, uninterest, and I don't even know how to call that. You know what I mean? Like, to respond to negativity with more negativity. It's easier. It's easier because we feel justified. But the bigger thing to do, the thing that actually creates change, is to give that which we want to receive. And that applies to everything in life. That applies to giving abundantly what we can give, if we want to live an abundant life. We can't expect the life to respond back to us with things that we don't give first. I know I'm repeating that so many times already, but I just want to make the point. So let's not so so let's not wait around for the world to align so we can get what we want, because sometimes we will, sometimes we won't. Right? Sometimes people will give us love, sometimes they won't. Sometimes money will flow more abundantly than other times, and that's okay. Some, like, there are seasons in life. There are um there are seasons in lives, moments in lives that are uncertain. And so if we wait around for other people to give us love, for us to feel love, we deprive ourselves from the absolute amazing, joyful, absolutely brilliant emotion of love that we can feel on everyday basis if we choose to. And if we wait around for life to give us the best circumstances for us to experience abundance, to experience happiness, well, sometimes we will, sometimes we won't, because we are always going to base that on outside circumstances which we don't have influence over. So it's really about taking ownership and agency of our lives, of our minds first, because mind creates. As I already said, you energize what you recognize. We energize what we recognize. So even when it comes to your mind starting to tell you, well, they don't give me that, why should I give that? Or doubt comes up, or fear comes up, stop it at one instant, because you don't have to listen to it. You get to live a life of joy and happiness and love and abundance every single day, should you choose to. It's your choice. It's your choice. So go grab it. Go make it. Go create the life that you want to live. And so when you start living in that way, and when you start praying things into existence, not praying for things to magically arrive in your life, you command them into existence, you really own your power. You cannot believe, you cannot imagine the opportunities that are going to come into your life. Unexpected, amazing, beautiful opportunities that you could never even have dreamed of. People, business opportunities, um, events, like, things start to just magically rearrange themselves around you. And it's just magical. And I want each and every one of us to start living, owning our power instead of waiting around. Okay. So get out of victim mentality, get out of get out of uh, complaining mentality and I don't know what else, and negativity, and stop listening to what your mind is telling you, and choose always to respond with what you want to receive more of. Because in the end of the day, it's all just one big game, one big net of connectedness between each and every one of us. And that's why whatever you put out there, you get back. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you would like to also tune in for a free mentorship coaching, group coaching session in which we get to discuss different topics of manifestation, and also if you wished and also if you wish to tune in for a free mentorship group coaching call, you can join my free private Facebook group. It's called the Bold Femme Collective, and every Tuesday we have that online group coaching for everyone to feel empowered, to feel more supported. And so I would love to see you in there. The link is down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.